si Wise ay hindi nagpa-behind sa level. Actually, pagdating ng unang Lord, ay lamang pa nga siya sa level over Ryzen. Ito yung binabanggit ni Coach Boncha kanina na farming pattern. Kasi very immaculate talaga dito yung resource control ng side ng Blacklist International. And looking at the lineup, parang Omega nga actually yung pumapabor sa draft pagdating sa early game. Pero ano ba yung mga nakikita nating
Tama. Kung titingnan natin sa draft, kahit papano, lamang ng konti. Especially sa early itong Omega. Pero pagdating ng first Lord, kailangan nila ng communication. Unang Lord attempt, ang nag-initiate si Kera at si Angela. At ang ginawa lang ng Blacklist, back. Pahupain lang natin yung sanib ni Angela and then tara, counter-engage tayo. At yun na yung unang clash na naipanalo nila at nag-turn around ang table na nag-result sa 4K gold lead. And then nung pumangalawang Lord, na nagtry naman si Ryzen na pumuronta. At nung pangatlong Lord, si Rencho naman ang pumuronta. This means kailangan talaga ng communication during Lord fight kung gusto nilang magsabay-sabay.
Yeah, and nabanggit ni Coach Boy kanina yung tatlong turtle na nakuha ni Ryzen, pero nakakuha pa rin ng Lord ay ang Blacklist International. And the MVP of that game is none other than Edward or Agent Zero for Blacklist International. Kakaiba yung naging performance ni Joy. Actually, pinag-usapan natin kanina yung backline access dahil nga yung awkwardness ng engagements ng Omega ay parang nagkakaroon ng problem, nagkakaroon din ng miscommunication on how they engage fights. Si Edward naman yung parang naging counter dun sa nagiging existing na problem ng Omega. Kumbaga parang binubutas niya lalo. Pinalalaki niya yung problema ng Omega.
Tama. Dagdag problema talaga si Edward dahil namimiss position yung mga heroes ng Omega. Dahil pagdating ng Lord fight, kung sino-sino yung binubuli niya, kung sino-sino yung dinidikitan niya, na nagre-result na follow-up naman ni Yue, kung saan napapabak na lang talaga yung Omega.
And kita actually sa heat map, may mga spots kayo makikita dyan. This is from minute 5 to minute. Kasi inahabol niya yung mga mispositioned heroes dun sa side ng barangay. And makikita natin yun dito sa MVP highlights natin. Again, this was a match na parang ideally, sabi nga ni Boncha, na parang kaya naman lumaban ng Smart Omega kasi they have ways of engaging. Pero ano nga ba yung mga tama at maling desisyon na ginawa ng Smart Omega rito? Bakit nag-crumble sila sa lineup ng Blacklist International?
Yun, unang-una nga ang isa sa mga maling desisyon na nagawa nila ay ang Lord fight na ang ginawa nilang initiator, si Kera na may sanib ni Angela. While kung inantay na lang nila na Blacklist ang mag-i-engage, ang dami nilang counter-engage. Like, and then sila ang magka-counter-engage. But sa nangyari ngayon, sila lagi ang nagsisimula pero sila din ang napapanish.
Yeah, medyo underutilized nga yung composition ng Smart Omega. Kumbaga parang nandun yung threat ng mga hero. Starting point, hindi masyado nakalipad si Kelda. Kasi parang ang hirap nga din naman pumili ng mga targets sa side ng Blacklist International. Just by looking at their lineup, medyo mobile din naman. Although may one time na nakita natin si Owl na may misstep na na-commit dun sa kanyang BMI or sa Battle Mirror Image. Pero it was still Blacklist International controlling yung objective battle against Smart Omega. And of course, yung resources. Kasi nabanggit mo kanina, importante rito yung lead. Actually, Paul na hawak ng Blacklist International. Ba't nga ba importante yun, Coach?
Una hanggang sa 10 minutes, wala talagang nagkaroon ng lead hanggang sa dumating yung turning point which is ang first Lord na in just a snap, nagkaroon ng 4K gold lead. At doon pa lang naka-breakaway na sa item, although si Aul na hindi ganong payapang nakapag-farm or na-earlyhan siya sa early part ng game, nakabawi siya bigla, bawing-bawi doon sa turning point sa first Lord.
And it's very interesting kasi parang pinag-uusapan natin na si Blacklist at Omega, medyo momentum battle to eh. And si Blacklist International, last time around, sila yung may hawak ng float. So parang, in a way, medyo baliktad yung scenario ngayon. Parang si Blacklist International yung naghihintay ng Omega timers and si Omega naman yung naghahanap ng dapat na lead nung early game. And interesting and kakaiba yung nangyari dito as Blacklist International really did take away from the game of Omega dito sa game. Iba yung naging resulta, but at the end of the day, it is a 1-0 win for Blacklist International. And speaking of kakaiba at mga interesting na nagpapakita dito sa ating playoffs, ay meron ding mga interesting guests dito sa ating audience area. Kaya naman, kausapin muna natin si Mara Aquino.
Star-studded tayo ngayon sa SMX Convention Center. Kasama natin, former CEO ng Smart Omega.
Hello guys.
Tito, and Oh my goodness, Chuck Mamba. Every time tinatouch ko, biglang gumaganon eh. Kamusta na kayo? Kamusta?
Okay lang. First time lang namin ulit mag-meet ni Chuck no, ng personal.
First time. Oh, paano yung greeting nyo nung first time kayo nagkita?
Inag ko lang siya, ganyan.
Ganyan? Oh. How much did you miss each other?
Sobra-sobra akong na-miss siya kasi ayun yung kasama ko sa hirap at ginawa sa Omega.
Sa hirap at ginhawa. Ikaw, ganun ba rin masasabi mo? Sobrang miss mo din ba?
Hindi.
Uy, di mo pa ako na-miss
Hindi. Ba't hindi ka na na-miss? Wala ka kasing pasalubong eh.
Okay.
Ay,
Hindi, bigyan ko sa chocolate.
Binigyan mo ng tsokolate. Okay. Ay, may nakita kami. Actually, si Chuck na yung nag-point out. May bago sa'yo. Pakita mo nga. Pakita mo. Yung bagong tattoo mo. Ayan. Nakikita ba? Nakikita? Anong ibig sabihin yan?
Ano yung kalapate?
Kalapate. Bakit ka nagpatuto ng kalapate? Anong meaning? Anong meaning?
Para mataas yung lipat ko pagka fly high.
Gano'n. Sa Omega, bumuboto. Ikaw, narinig kita kanina, ayaw mo ngayon sa Omega. Blacklist ka ngayon.
Bago na yung ano ko, bandwago na ako ngayon, blacklist na.
Bandwagon. Okay, wait. Wait, bakit? Dati ka nilang CEO.
Nagkaroon kami ng tampuhan ni Kyle Ray.
Anong tampuhan?
Kasi siya yung naging main 5 na gold lane. Kung wala siya, ako yung gold lane sana dun.
So dapat ikaw.
Ngayon nawalan ako ng trabaho.
Dahil kay Kelra, may gusto ko ba sabihin kay Kelra?
Kaya galingan mo na lang, good luck sa'yo, bahala ka dyan.
Okay, sabi mo nga kanina mananalo yung blacklist. Pero okay, kung ma-analyze natin yung first game, what's up?
Kuwang-kuha ni Ryzen yung inis ko. Naagawan siya ng Lord eh.
Chuck, ikaw, anong analysis mo? Ano nangyari dun sa first game?
Hindi ko masyado nakita. Puro likod lang nakita ko eh.
Kasi nga, oy, bigay niya si Chuck gawin ng Omega para makabawi sa blacklist.
Parang kailangan na nila ipasok si Coach Pacbet tsaka si Coach Tomax eh.
Okay.
Palarin nila si Coach Pacbet as jungler tapos first pick saber.
So, sure na panalo yun.
Sure yan, sure.
Okay, ano ikaw? Ano sa tingin mo kailangan?
Dapat umuwi si Ito. Nakaito yung malas eh.
Hindi mo pa ako ah.
Tira ka na.
Agree, malas ka daw?
Kalati lang, kalati.
Kalahati. Okay, ano bang ginagawa ng blacklist na sobrang gusto mo dun sa game 1?
Si Wise, ngayon first time ko siya makita mag-super assassin.
That's right. First
Magaling si
time
Wise,
niya,
magaling.
first time niya gawin 'yon. Okay.
Tsaka si...
Dapat, ito yung camera natin, ibato na natin sa kasos, pero kayong dalawa yung gumawa. Okay, game.
Casters.
Ay, ulit.
Ulit. Round 2. Casters.
Pasok.
Uy, parang kalungkot mo ah.
I missed Hito so much. Chuck, no, he's around, but Hito just, it hits diff. And welcome home.
I miss the robe. Remember the robe?
I wonder where it is.
I'm pretty
The CEO
sure.
robe.
I think that has been framed after being washed intensely and framed in the Smart Omega Bootcamp.
That's likely. I believe that's likely. With that being said, let's go ahead and reset. Again, real quick, I have to say, everything that Coach Bonchan and Midnight said, spot on. Let me remind everybody to go ahead and register your Smart and TNT. Enough has been extended.
Yeah.
All right, so for those of y'all wondering if, is it too late? Is my sim dead? Nah, fam, it's not. It's been extended to July 25th. Register now, since this is the final deadline extension for reals this time around. Stay connected with Smart, all right? So just to remind everybody, it's not too late. Your sim is not dead yet. So register now via smart.ph/simreg. Let's get back into the action here. Game 2, I think it's clear that the teams may have switched up their tempo this time around after the reset. Omega on the play. They ban out the Estes. They ban out the Joy. Thank God they ban out the Joy.
Yeah, they really had to. On the hands of Edward, that was a menace to go up against.
Monster.
Will Omega ban out the Arlot or first pick it for themselves? If I'm Omega here, I'd want to see them first pick the Lancelot. Take it away from the hands of Wise as an option to pick and put it in the hands of Ryzen. It is a comfort pick for him. Speaking of comfort picks, Blacklist International, despite them beating the 1-1 earlier, they still really do not want to go have that on the hands of Kelra, and they take away the Fanny from the hands of Ryzen. The ban here for Omega, if it's a Paramus, no, it's a Lapu-Lapu, interestingly enough. So it seems like
Interesting.
their focus for the draft might just be glue, but I'm gonna have to read body language here.
Read it.
Based on the little interaction that Max, Coach Pakbet, and Miko had, it looks like this wasn't the intended ban here for Omega.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be dicey again. You know, you're 1 game behind now, and like we mentioned, you know, that early game was really detrimental to what I feel like Omega wanted to do. But right off the bat, they go ahead and pick up the Fredrin, so they're going to lock that in. That is still a great option, still flexible, but let's say it does go in the jungle, right? Goes in the hands of Ryzen. Great utility there, so you can go ahead and build your lineup around this. I would love to see them actually snag the thing that was missing from the previous game. Like you mentioned, you have that Angela, and if you have to force your jungler to be that site, to also be that kind of front wall for a lot of the stuff, it doesn't work out the way you want it to.
It's difficult. It's a big struggle when that happens. And now the first picks here, will they pick up the Valentina, Faramis again? They can
Arlot's
do
still
that,
open.
But Arlot's still open, yes. So it's an Eve and Arlot. So it's 2 picks that were banned earlier, now prioritized by Blacklist. It's a different picture for the drafting here for Blacklist International. Now Omega, are they going to cover their bases here? Franco will still be available if they want to pick it in the early slots. They can actually leave the idea of Fredrin in the XP lane open. However, in terms of map presence, the Arlot will be felt more. The Fredrin will struggle against that Arlot a little bit in the times we've seen the Arlot-Fredrin matchup in the XP lane.
I was gonna say we've seen that like a couple times now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it usually doesn't work out in favor of the Fredrin here.
Yeah, this might end up becoming a Farsa pickup and then their Roamer. Or a Farsa and then their gold laner already on. Show it. Oh, it's a Roamer. It's the Cho and the Beatrix already prioritized here. They don't want to go into the second phase with Blacklist taken away. Marksman. Owl can show his Marksman here if they want to. They can just play it safe and go for the Claw again.
Yep.
But if they want to, I think Blacklist International, especially, even with Super Red in the lineup, and Owl when he played it, it's looking like Brody seems like more of a comfort pick right now for Blacklist in terms of their Marksman.
And with that Cho now in the hands of Omega,
Yeah.
we can revert to the usual suspects as compared to Game 1. So still, Omega playing on the potential reset. Again, we also saw a possible mix-up with the banning. Hopefully it doesn't affect him too much. Now going into the closer for the first phase, looks like the Queen is going to get that Faramis back into her hands.
The Faramis is, I'm surprised, in a way that Faramis especially, all around, I feel like all around the globe is such still high impact. The fact that, the way that the Stampede works plus your Cold Altar, it's so valuable, man. And I'm surprised, that before we even had a time where Faramis was actually banned quite a bit, right? But now it's kind of let through the cracks here, and you got to have an answer to really deal with that.
And there it is, an Eve ban, as expected for Blacklist International. Could have gone into the hands of Stone, even though Faramis Eve might give a Valentina a hard time. You're giving away strong utility there. Speaking of a hard time, Miko's going to have a difficult time again if he's not too careful against the even Faramis with their pulls and their slows. He could get counter-punished just trying to get vision against early on. And now the quad ban is the ban for Omega.
So it looks like Omega are, double-crossing us? The fact that they pick a Cho into the lineup that had potential to pick up the Eve and the Faramis, plus the fact that, we don't mind that all these gold laners are out. We'll still take him out. We'll still ban him. Yeah. I think we've come to the agreement watching Game 1 that, Owl can pick whatever they want. Owl can do whatever he wants. I think Omega has an answer, but I wonder why. I wonder why Coach Pakbet, Coach Tony, and Coach Etomax are still saying, we want to make Owl pick a certain hero.
You have to point that out. That is Coach Why Not. Coach Why Not, Coach Tony. Call him either. He's fine with it, right?
Coach Otit.
Coach Otit also, yeah.
Names,
that is a Tito backwards.
That's how long.
I was gonna say, I get it.
That's how long he's spent
you get it, but we got to make it clear for the other international viewers. I just want to say there's a brilliant ban by Omega on the Akai. Good ban as well on the glue. Blacklist read the potential of that shift where, not a shift, but the glue could have gotten picked up. But again, you know what? Wise running back can go tanks a lot again. It should be okay. If not that, maybe the Barretts. Yeah. Either the Barretts or the tanks a lot look good.
I've been waiting for
Okay,
too long.
well, they lock in the carry here. And if I remember, well, I think it was actually Owl's debut where he played that carry, and it was like, you know, the headlines of Owl City, right?
Yep.
And so he brings out the comfort pick once again. It's this carry here. And, yeah, going back to even the previous game, like we mentioned, the score doesn't really paint that picture well for Owl in the previous game because he, you know, the rest of the team was really just kind of profiting on every single lane, and then Owl's job was like, let me just get a blazing duet off, and then I'm good from there. But now that he's chosen this carry here, he can be a lot more proactive in the way that he plays in these team fights.
And it comes with its pros and cons.
Yes.
He has to step it up. He has to make sure that when he engages, it's not as simple as a BMI out. Let's see what Omega closes up with. They go ahead and get that fire. And there you go. They're the ones who, you know, pull a sleight of hand. It's an XP lane Fredrin for just the sake of stealing it away from Wise, and then they give Ryzen that Lancelot.
Very good sleight of hand there. The shift, the turnaround. So it's going to be Renjo right now as what we call the tanque. He's going to be taking a good amount of punishment a little bit. Going to be a while until we see the Fredrin or feel the Fredrin in terms of the map rotations. But unless Renjo's really prepared for this matchup. Now for the jungler here of Blacklist International, I mean, we did mention the Barretts is an option, or the, I wanted to say, her name slipped my mind, Guinevere. Because they are up against that Farsa, the mobility that Guinevere brings to the table, and of course, just the setup knockup potential. They wanted to add a little bit more peeling, maybe even a little bit more crowd control provided for their carry. So this is a lineup that will allow Owl to shine.
So this now opens a whole slew of possibilities because you're introducing a new player in the ecosystem. This is the first time we've seen Jungle Guinevere.
Yeah.
In this metagame.
Yeah.
Second. He picked it once earlier this season.
In the regular season.
Yeah, in the regular season.
Yeah.
All right.
But we already, you know, and that's what I'm wondering too, is like, even though we saw this in a previous season playoffs, like how has that changed?
Yeah, no, it still feels like a once in a blue moon pick.
Yeah.
It is.
So it's like seeing, it's like seeing a squirrel in the Philippines. We know they exist somewhere.
Yes, they do somewhere.
Right? But when was the last time you saw a squirrel in the Philippines, man?
I have a bad knowledge of ecology. I didn't even know there were squirrels in this country.
Exactly.
Huh.
So that's what this Guinevere is. It
That's
should
cool.
do wonders for Blacklist, given that it is a surprise pick. Not like the Angela that didn't work out much for Omega. Let's go into game 2.
So this time, you know, Miko pretty much doing the same thing he did previous game, but, you know, won't go down first blood under the minute here. So, yeah, he's going to be in a better position, I feel like, on this Cho pick. It's just, again, like you mentioned, Renmar during the draft, you know, he does have his work cut out for him to be able to find, you know, those pickoffs, especially with the Way of Dragons later on when he hits that level 4.
Yeah. Oh my Venus. And you have to watch other positioning, and as expected, Kelra and Omega doing everything they can to delay the farm and let Owl struggle, similar to what they somewhat did early on, but engagements, really. Now this is just them poking him down.
Okay. Still, early game, poking back and forth. These are what both these teams like to do. I'm actually curious here, too, you know, and from what we've seen with that matchup, the Fredrin and the Arlot, you know, what makes it so that the Arlot is just better, I guess you could say, in terms of that matchup top lane?
It's his ability to clear the minion waves quicker while dealing damage to Renjo. And this isn't a Fredrin with a concussive blast. Because of how fast he can clear waves while poking down Renjo, he can rotate faster, and that's a flicker burned by Kelra. A little bit too eager there, it looks like.
Yep, that's 2 minutes. 2 minutes that Omega have to be careful. But luckily enough, it's in the gold lane, far from where the big engagement's gonna happen here. Renzo helping Ryzen out, get the pull on the first turtle.
Man, when you see that, you know, just you think, oof, because now, yeah, a troubling situation. Still going to be fighting for first turtle of the game. We know how the previous one went, all three over to the Omega, but Ryzen does secure it there. There's the way of the dragon. Miko's going to fall, though. First blood over to Yue. Oh, still going to be looking for more. Feathered airstrike going to come down. Edward flickers himself, survives. No kills, no one falling down just yet in this part of the fight. Oh My Venus, though, could be focused down. Here comes Ryzen. Looking for Edward if he can. The final slash gonna come out. Edward, though, gonna fall here. Now Ryzen still on the hunt. Won't be able to get Oh My Venus, though.
All right, long turn, but eventually pays off for Omega. That's a better trade, right? An XP laner for a roamer.
Yep, a good trade. And they get the turtle as well, so that was a win for Omega in that scenario. And interestingly here, you see Al actually rotating out of the gold lane more to get farmed through the mid lane. And good read by him to use the Cyclone Eye, feeling that Miko could have been potentially there. So this is Al being proactive with his farming. He isn't just farming solely out of lane. He's going to the mid lane as much as he can.
I've got to confirm, gentlemen. I think Wise has double orange on him. He stole Ryzen's.
Yes, he did.
Oh, no.
Bad move there for Ryzen. And the Little Wanderer also went to the hands of Blacklist International. So it's a slight lead right now for the jungler of Blacklist. So no full item for
Agent Zero paid for that. Agent Zero paid for that with his life to get the Little Wanderer and the double orange on Wise. Let's see if eventually it'll pay off. Still looking for that kick. Miko still hasn't got it yet, despite hitting level 4 about a minute earlier.
And right now, Miko's just positioning to look for that kick, and Oh My Venus, I think, reads it. There's a kick!
Yeah, way the dragon gonna come out, looking for the kill. Can't get the Colt Altar off in time. Wise, though, gonna get the knock-up. Miko takes quite a bit of damage. Couple hits away here, but they know they've got that little win. Omega with a kill. Turtle coming up in just a few seconds here.
Yeah, let's see if that was enough to somewhat delay the rotation there, but no. With both junglers in the bottom lane in that sequence, it's actually Wise going to be getting here first. So that is the orange muffler in the hands of Ryzen. Going on to the purple. Renjo's holding it for Omega. Good call there, bot lane. It's a 3-2 trade by Blacklist. They're sending 3 down to send 2 to the turtle.
All right, so it's turned eventually into a man-to-man defense. 3 down bot, 2 in the turtle. There's a pull.
They're going to go ahead and fight for it. Ryzen able to secure the turtle there. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Oh My Venus did fall. Wise going to be the focus once again here. A couple hits away. Gets the knock-up, but doesn't have the sustain as Renzio grabs the kill.
What a turnaround there for the Barangay. They read the 3-2 trade of Blacklist. They often do this where it's just Edward and Wise contesting the second and or third turtle of the game while sending the rest of Blacklist International to the gold lane. But Kelra and Omega survived there, even getting a kill, Omega getting a turtle, and they even got to force Al back with a great feathered airstrike by Stone.
Yep, and they're putting quite a bit of damage on this bottom lane tier 1, and eventually Kelra's gonna get it here. So Omega with a great reset. I gotta say, it's trippy, gentlemen. It's trippy. Watching both a Lancelot and a Fredrin on the same side, pushing for a turtle. That's scary.
And that's why the shift works so well in the draft. First pick that Fredrin, history, stats, everything. Tendencies of Omega have shown that was most likely a jungle Fredrin, but Omega said, you know what, it's a small thing. Our Angelo didn't work out in the first one, but we have our fair share of surprises prepared for the playoffs as well.
Yeah, I like it. And at the same time, you know, with that, 6 minutes in, Omega has a nice little bit of a lead to work with here. So they can take this to their advantage. Bottom side, though, Wise going to miss that. Looking for Kelra. They might have to call this off. Another couple attempts here, bottom side. Miko's still going to be on the hunt. He's looking for that way. The dragon used the conceal. Edward now joining the fight as well, but no one, again, they can't find anything, so they just back off.
All right, with that failed rotation, the engagement that Blacklist was looking for, I think Omega won. That was a small trade. That was like a phantom trade.
Yeah. It's not so obvious, but it's something, it's like a little thing that might have a big consequence later on.
It's like 2 Kung Fu Masters whiffing and they're like, oh, I see.
Yeah, I see what you did there. That means that's that.
Oh, this one, though, going to be full-on force, except for Edward. He's not going to be here for the fight. Pushing him back to another feathered airstrike comes down, plus Yue's real-world manipulation going to force Renzio to flicker around. Owl, though, take final slash. Stone has to fly away with the wings by kill.
Oh, he was shot down there, but I'm wondering how did Owl do that? Whoa.
Yeah, that was incredibly shocking. Ryzen got his retry off first. It looked like, was that the dash?
I think
then
it was
just
the dash.
a light wheel just flying.
Was that a
from-
stray light
It
wheel?
was a stray light wheel that somehow got the turtle there for Blacklist International.
That was probably like calculated.
Calculated. But that looked incredibly unlucky for Omega. That was their turtle to have. But gotta give credit where credit's due. If he was gonna use the Phantom Step, that was the right time to do it.
It went from good to great for the agents. They got the pick off on Stone. Rather, the other way around. They got, random turtle, thanks. And then, boom, they barreled down on Stone. So, yeah. Oh, wait, looking for a kick here.
No angle.
All right, no one home. Okay, back to the reset. Blacklist still haven't capitalized on that win, but it's looking better. The map's looking better for Black.
Yeah, in a way, it's just, it whittled down that gold lead a little bit that Omega had. And you can see, right, the damage is starting to be there for Owl. There's a lot of focus here, especially against both those gold laners. Now they're still going to press the situation. Feathered Airstrike going to come down, trying to force out that Cold Ultra as it does. Kelrun not going to find the connection there as Renzio falls. Trying to buy time for the rest of the team. Has to pay with it for his
Times. Miko going for an initiation, getting vision, but then it seems like there are members of Omega not fully ready to commit just yet. Renjo doing the same thing. So if Omega can fix that and again replicate a good early game again, this might be the game for them to turn things around. But they need to work on that mid-game calm.
It's uncanny and just the same amazing to see that we all see the same thing. That Omega, great, early to mid, and then it slowly breaks down. I wonder why that is.
Which is weird because, again, Omega is a team where, people kind of connected them with the phrase, Omega timers, right? So you're like, a lot of people are thinking, 18-minute mark, maybe even the 16, 17-minute mark. Like, that's when there's going to start popping off. But, unfortunately, at least in this series, it really hasn't happened that way.
Yeah.
This series, might even, I dare say, this season. It feels like the Omega timers isn't a thing for this lineup.
Yeah.
It seems like Omega timers now is early game, weirdly enough. Just be comfortable in the early and then a good early mid, but then mid to late, that's where it goes down.
And that's why it's so tough to be a Barangay fan in this series specifically because, let's say Omega timers comes in a little earlier, right?
Yeah.
14, 15, but games don't end at 14 and 15 here in MPL Philippines.
Yeah, not anymore. I think this season, if I'm not mistaken, the average 20, it's around 19 minutes, 20, 30 seconds, somewhere around like that.
Like, I know it doesn't work logically this way, but 19, 20, I would just round up to 20. I know we're supposed to round down, but it's like, it feels like games more and more now hit that 20-minute plus mark because especially the way that the meta has gone and, these lineups are really great at defending that high ground defense. You see a lot of Farsa, a lot of Eve even. The wave clear is amazing. So even with this, right, on the first pick, Black International taking out the R lot for themselves, why not? It's worked so well from the previous game. We saw how many great, final slashes were utilized for the way that they wanted to play that. And that, again, goes to the fact that those calls to, even if the final slash was to peel, a lot of the times, you saw that interchange where whether it was to engage, to peel, to do something.
And re-engage.
They did it so well. So, a great priority pickup here for Blacklist International.
So, will it be a Valentina for Omega? Will they steal away an Eve? Or will it be for them?
Among the planes
That's an Eve, it is, and a Faramis. So it's Omega trying to put together their best Blacklist International cosplay.
That's right. They're stealing it away. If we can't beat you with our game, we'll play your game.
They're basically the iteration of Valentina herself.
Yeah.
They are you.
They are we.
Yeah. They're we.
Does that check out? Grammatically speaking, I'm not sure. But, again, when you're up against the wall, it's match point. I don't blame Omega for going this way. And here's the thing. If it works out, they can become the Omega Enigma.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. And I like a Valentina Lolita pickup here potentially for Blacklist.
One half of it, the Lolita.
Lolita, come on.
I
it
would.
looks beautiful. Oh, okay. Good. Good pickup there by Blacklist. They don't want to put it in the hands of Ryzen, and so that means potentially he's going to end up having a tank slot on his hands again.
Likely.
Highly likely.
We're about to close up the first phase. No prio for any gold laners quite yet because that's another option that Omega can go for.
Yeah. Oh, but they do it here.
Indeed they do.
Okay, they decide to go ahead and take up the quad, which, you know, interesting because now that we go into this second phase of the pick and bans here, you're going to see how this plays out, right? Because with Omega, you know, they've got that gold lane option locked in. They've got the Fairness and the Eve pickup. So we're probably going to see Blacklist International at least maybe narrow down the jungle options here like they already have, or of course the roam, right? Because what we were expecting, this is back in game one, was that big pick, that roam pick that would solidify that lineup that Omega had before, but they locked in the Angela, right? So then it was like, oh no, we're missing some of that frontline kind of tankiness that we needed. So now, what does this leave open for them?
Okay, so Omega chooses to ban out the carry. Blacklist if I'm Omega, I'd also take out the Brody.
Yeah.
Because Omega went for a lineup that have you have to think of Eve as a late game mage in a way. I know it sounds weird to think about, but she needs farm. Unlike Farsa, unlike Valentina, she needs to farm. And so that gives two of your major damage dealers being farm heavy. If you're a lineup up against a Brody now, and especially a Brody that can stun on a Claude, you will struggle if you're Omega. So they have to take away the Brody in this scenario. If they don't, that means they're ready for it. But right now, Blacklist International have drafted a lineup that looks good for a Brody and Lolita last two picks. Now that the glue is also off of the hands of Omega.
All right, if they get, that's you with the Valiant. I'm gonna recover. All right, the Lolita is still ripe for picking. And just the same, I think a Purify can solve things.
Yeah.
But might that be too honest for an Omega that is just in dire straits, right?
Yes.
If you play that way, is it too honest?
Ready.
And
Give
will
me a
it
target.
be okay? Interestingly enough, look at this.
Look at the last ban.
The response.
They take out the Leslie.
So are they saying, make my day? Owl, pick the Brody.
It's like they're welcoming it. They're welcoming a pickup there. There's no record of a Leslie pickup here for Owl, but it seems like it's more of a Omega felt like something was happening.
For the good people in the stands, yes, indeed, Mirko is watching, Indonesia's finest. We'd like to say hi to Mr. Herbert Wagner. Trex, he's watching as well, all the way from
He's
North
staying up
America.
late.
Yeah,
It's late over there.
yeah. And for everyone who is here with us at SMX, expect to stay late as well.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I expect this to go 5-man. We all want it to go 5 deep inside.
It's looking.
It's looking like this
I'm
might end
hoping.
here, though.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
it's a dire situation,
Not
but
like
that's
this.
not. Yeah. But I gotta say, if there's a team right, and we talked about how the identity of the Omega timers aren't there. Well, there is still the Lassen identity. Lasson.
Lasson.
You think it's there?
I don't know, man.
You're not feeling it?
I woke up and I felt like it was, but at this
A
point,
Charizla?
I have to say, okay,
So they're just trying to match the wave clear for wave clear.
yes.
This puts, this puts so much pressure on the jungle of Omega. They're going to have to go tanky here.
And whoever it is, we don't know who it is.
Yeah, Dire Straits. Come on. The Lolita, are they hovering a link, really? That would be interesting.
For Wise?
But there's already a Kai. But we mentioned Lolita Brody. They still look like really good picks here. Unless they're thinking something else, maybe Moscow for Al, but they don't necessarily need to.
Yeah.
If they want to be safe and they want more wave clear, they go Beatrix. But
She's open.
yeah, they can have this quick. They can just go for it.
Always on the way.
Okay.
It's Matilda.
Wow.
How about an old classic? How about we get on board Matilda Airlines for once?
Yeah, this is your favorite.
Yeah, your favorite, Leo.
This is your favorite, Leo.
I'm expecting a lot of great sounds coming in from Ran Santa Cruz tonight.
And he means himself. That's Leo. This
All right.
Matilda pickup is great because it still adds the spirit of what we mentioned of just end this quick. Set the tempo. Rotate quickly. Pressure Kelra. Delay that Claude. make Omega really crawl back from a deficit, which, against a lineup that Blacklist fielded with an Arlott and a Brody together, even a Valentina, let's count the Valentina in there, it's going to be dire straits and a tough time for Omega if Blacklist get an early to mid lead. They could get swept here, and the pick will be a Baksha.
Hey, going back to it, looks very, looks very, in a way, like you said, the Blacklist cosplay with a couple changes here. I'm actually interested how the Terizla will fare against the Arlott.
Yeah, wave clear, they get to match up. I actually have fun facing Terizla's in lane when I play Arlott. Although I haven't seen enough matches out of it, all we know is the most important detail is wave clear, rotate, that's it. You can match it and even sometimes even go faster than an Arlott.
But like, think about just those two heroes alone. Like, Arlott is so nimble, and Terizla just feels like how he looks, basically. Like, he's just a huge guy with a mace, I think, or something.
Huge hammer.
Huge hammer.
And that's what makes Omega's approach to the current situation interesting.
Yeah.
Is they're leaning into it.
Yep.
You maybe, just in our opinion, you want a hero that might be able to try and play around the fact. Yeah. But no, they pick it up first in the second phase. So going into game 3, it's all or nothing for Omega from here on until the series end, which is nigh. Blacks International threatening the elimination.
Okay. Well, early game, if Omega can get that lead again, I would love to see them be able to utilize this lineup that looks reminiscent of what Blacklist International had before to take control and not let it slip out of their hands here. I think that's one of the biggest things, especially not overextending, you know, and I feel like at the same time, with all that being said, the Baksha pick, your rotations are great. You're going to be able to get around the map here, but you know, you really got to be careful of positioning. As I was saying, Ryzen could be in trouble here. First blood going to the hands of Agent Zero. Already a minute in, picking up a kill.
This is exactly what Blacklist wants. They want you to respond, and they force a rotation from the mid lane, and they get away with that kill for free.
Yeah, that was a turnaround for Blacklist in the sense that Omega, Ryzen, Renjo, they decided to path downwards towards to Edward was behind his turret because it looked like Blacklist were already pathing towards up. But of course, you're a Matilda and you have your teammates with you. They can get a little bit of extra mobility, and they did. They shifted their gears. They went for a U-turn, and Omega were just caught out in the bottom lane.
And it looks like Omega's trying to recover. They are going to make at least somewhat of a effort to contest. Looking at Ryzen, he has his level 4, got that red tree on point as well.
Yeah.
But the positioning is off. Blacks International are just first at the scene. They have a better placement here.
Yeah.
Gonna have to keep an eye. Renzo gonna go in with a penalty zone, finds 2, but doesn't have the damage to back him up. They get the pin down. Ryzen will fall. Heavy spin coming out from Wise. Still quite low here. Renzio, though, not going to be enough. Wise grabs the turtle. Final slash comes through. Renzio will fall. Edwards still on the hunt. It's a triple kill for Yue.
That is not what you want if you're Omega. A triple kill for the Valentina. The first turtle to Blacklist International. And we were talking about it earlier. Blacklist drafted the lineup that if Omega aren't careful, can snowball quickly, and I think we're starting to see the beginning of a big snowball. My question is, why, Omega, why try to contest that, knowing that the positioning was off?
Yeah. Blacklist's house in this very moment. The turtle pit was theirs, and they got punished hard for that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. As we just saw from the replay, hold on, top side, they get the flicker out here from Owl. Okay, going back to the point,
you were saying
that replay, we saw how well it worked out, right? Final slash comes through, everybody's low. UA just kind of dips in, slides in, whatever you want to call it, and capitalizes off it. And now, like Renmar said, look at that. You've already got this nice gold lead advantage here against Stome across from you.
That's, as far as I'm concerned, just miles away. 2K in 3 minutes?
Wow.
That hurts. Now Renzio forced to flicker away, and it's not much better for Miko.
Blacklist's rotations are on point. No kills yet for Omega. Seems like everywhere we go in the map, every crucial area, there's a member of Blacklist there. Oh My Venus pushing back. Kelra way behind turret. Positional advantage in the gold lane there for Blacklist International, forcing a rotation from Miko up top. Turtle will be up. It will be a big wonder if actually they will contest this Omega.
Oh, they might be looking for just putting pressure here on Kelra. He's going to go ahead and be forced to use that Blazing Duet. Clearing his lane. Owl taking quite a bit of damage too. Oh, My Venus might give the go signal here. Stone going to hold them off though, so still no commitment just yet. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, turret's going to be fought for. Heavy spin comes out. The dashes as well. Renziel will fall. Ryzen now left to 1 versus 2. Gonna get whittled down. Turtle still worked on. Ryzen will secure the turtle himself. Now Miko there to help him out, but Edward goes in, grabbing the kill. Was it worth it?
That was so well timed. The Blacks International understood that there was no cult altar. Ryzen wasn't gonna get away with it.
Yeah. You posed the question there, Nice. Was it worth it? More like 60-40, 65-35 that it wasn't. They got the turtle out of that, but at this point, with your opponent snowballing and you yourself giving another kill, also to Edward, that's tough.
Oh, right now. Oh, My Venus gonna get pulled back. Flickers out. She's gonna be just fine. Still, Omega showing some life. Again, this is 5.5 minutes in. They're already working against a 3K gold deficit here. Oh, My Venus taking a couple shots. She'll be fine even without that flicker. Owl, though, had to flicker himself. Gonna get locked down here. Stone able to punish, finds Owl.
Yeah, the right call and the right play this time around by Omega. They get their first kill and onto the opposing gold laner. Not a shutdown by any means, but it's something. It's something to build on.
Oh, man, this is crazy. Edward just kind of whittling down Ryzen here. That's how much of a lead he has, 2-0-4 on this R-Lot.
And there's a to say, man, I'd hate to be a bad news Bob or to rain on Omega's parade as they try to make for a so there is a looming threat of Oh My Venus making a call. They can break the momentum that Omega's slowly building up.
Yeah, and so Matilda Airlines with the Valentina rather as the passenger. The last time we saw it where Stone fell down in that first turtle fight. Ooh.
Okay. Still, I mean, even look at the bottom side, they're still going to be going one-on-one against each other. Top, though, Yue going to force Stone back a little bit half health here. All of this pretty much resulting into positioning for this turtle. Owl going to be in trouble here, still going to be alive. Had the shields available. Cold Ryzen comes out. Ryzen was there from the backside, so Owl is out. Blacklist International down 1 member. Might just want to give this turtle up. Looks like that's what they want to do, but Blacklist wants to fight for it. Wise going to push them out with a heavy spin. Secures the turtle. Now Renziel will fall in trouble. Edward with the final slash, displacing 2, focusing on Ryzen. They're punishing him here. Ryzen will fall. Edward again on this R-Lot.
Deja vu. It's another situation of was that worth it, but this time around, it was for Owl. Omega put themselves in the situation and Blacklist capitalized.
Oh, wow, Yue again. The confidence is massive and apparent here. Again, 5-0-3 this time on the Valentina.
He has 2 of his comforts in 1 hero, the Valentina and Eve. And we have to point out something in that last turtle fight. Wise didn't get his retribution off. Ryzen did. But somehow, Wise, I believe it's the passive taking true damage onto objectives from junglers that secured that. So the passive by the retry came in for Wise.
Okay, penalty zone was committed at the flicker. Edward was there for the backup too, gonna force them back. They know those resources are down. And still Blacklist International now a comfortable lead, 8 minutes in, leading into that first Lord here in just under a minute. Omega has the work cut out for him. Again, it's match point here.
We're close to a Lord, about 40 seconds out, and Omega still have a lot of work to do. You mentioned in Nice 2, not a single turret down. So a lot of the rotation
there. Stone, though, doesn't have it now. Again, we're half a minute away. A lot of poke back and forth. Still holding onto the tier 1 turrets, too. That's great for both teams. but ultimately Blacks International having a nice little lead here.
And now Omega, all they can do is just hold on and watch. Maybe try to defend. They have to be smart with their timings of their abilities and their entries. It's a 5K gold lead. It won't be as easy as, oh, we caught them in the real world manipulation. Let's just rain down hell on them. Blacklist will have built enough items to survive that and fight back. Omega don't have the damage just yet.
Much. They got to give up this first Lord and Kelra on the run for the hills as well.
So you
Nice
can
one,
only
Leo.
imagine the kind of pressure that Kelra is under. Oh, Lord.
That's the pressure right there. Kelra looking to get a kill. Renzio was aiming for the queen. Gonna miss though. Edward flies out of there. Man, that's tough for Omega.
We rarely see Oh My Venus play the Matilda these days. But a good old classics, running it back. Wise tried to steal the purple buff away from Ryzen, but Ryzen gets it as we look at the instant replay. Edward there getting away just in time, right at the edge of the guiding wind when Oh My Venus landed with the first activation.
This way, Abunjing, this way.
Smooth.
You're not dying today. Not here, not in this team fight. About 7K ahead. Blacks International threatening a push. If Blacklist gets their way, there's going to be at least one inhibitor that falls.
Yeah, they're gonna have still again work cut out from here. We're only 11 minutes into the game. Omega on the defense. They're relying on that clear from Stome and Kelra as Lord makes its way bottom side. They could press the situation here. You got to keep an eye also on Edward, but looks like they take the discipline route. Let's just back off for now.
All right, you got to wonder. Omega, they have a lot of resources to work on, but they have to be more careful with it. Miko uses the Cult Altar an average of what? Maybe 2-3 seconds off of its cooldown every single time.
Yeah.
That's how much damage Blacklist is presenting. That's how big this 7K gold lead is.
And why now it looks so, look at Oh My Venus just right in front of Miko there. It's getting close to a, if you're gonna put a number onto it, like a 10% chance Omega will find a way to come back, but Ryzen and the rest of Omega chasing.
Ryzen wants to press the situation, but was it the right call? Edward can jump in. Does he have the final slash? He's holding on to it for now. There's the bulldozer comes out. Double real world mutilation gonna fall. Renzio is out of here. Owl still gonna miss that, but it's a monster kill for UA. Member will fall for Omega. Kelra trying to get back. He can! Wise finds him. It falls. It's only 2 members left. The Barangay.
Way too big of a gambit for Omega to attempt such an engagement at an 8K gold deficit.
Too eager, too hungry, but now it looks like the reigning and defending champions will end them here.
Oh, Stone's in trouble. He's got a little bit of the shield there to help him out. The inhibitor turn to the mid lane. He's going to fall. A huge penalty zone, but no follow-up.
The minions.
Blacklist International is looking to end the series in a sweep, but they don't have minions just yet.
Close
so we
call.
go back to it.
Close call, the Barangay holding on. But is it too late? Is a 10K gold lead too big to claw themselves out of this?
It's looking like that might be the case. 2 turrets left. Omega cannot contest this. Stone just picked up a glowing wand. Renjo, we said it earlier, he could have the hard time here, and he is 0-5-0 on this Terizla. Ryzen struggling as well, 1-6-0. And even with a massive blazing duet in the last fight, again, it was Yue with fantastic positioning, going off to the side, close to where the members of Omega were, just to bring down a massive world manipulation. It could be an MVP performance in the making here for the rookie mid laner here of Blacklist International as Omega, as you said it, Leo, backs against the wall.
Is it too much of a stretch to say that Blacks International in this 14-minute game have been using Owl as bait? He's the only 2 deaths.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. All those zeros for Blacklist International from everyone except Owl.
It's clean at the cost of Owl. I take that trade any day.
It's worth it. I mean, they've kind of been doing that here through the series. Now, once again, on the defense here.
Nice.
Ryzen gonna get pushed out away from his team. Colt Holter is used, still gonna be working for it. UA once again finding a kill. Penalty zone
Renzo.
comes through. Kelra takes too much damage. Edward finds the kill. Renzo, couple hits away. Still gonna be looking for it. UA is massive, and in a sweep, Blacklist will take it.
The defending champions still stand tall. Moving on to the next round.
In the first match, Blacklist gets the last laugh. Their rivals fall, dominated and swept. 3 games is all it took. The play-ins, a first-time appearance by Blacklist International in this scenario, and they fly away in the Matilda Airlines, happy, smiling, into the next round of the playoffs.
And that's a GG well played for Smart Omega. The Barangay have to take this loss with grace, and we wish them the best. This is uncanny. This is history. Folks, gentlemen, I have to confirm, this is, what, 7-0 between Blacklist and Omega in Season 11.
Yeah, it's crazy how, I would just say, clean the gameplay of Blacklist International looks now. You know, it's unfortunate that we didn't get to see the 5 games here between them and the Barangay. You know, just a classic matchup in itself. But again, the stage was shaking here. The desk was shaking here. Just, you know, after that winning moment there for Blacklist International.
Agents came in force.
Yeah, I feel like there's also a sense of relief coming in from the agents, knowing that the discourse, the discussion in the community and the entire world, everyone was looking at Omega and thinking, yeah, they struggled. Yeah, they're going into this with no wins against Blacklist, but there is a chance. There is a hope. We saw a glimmer of it in a fantastic game too, but then the classic Blacklist International instincts, their fundamentals and principles kicked in. Championship heart and gameplay trumps the poison today.
You can change a bit of the names, a few of the faces, maybe mid-season, but it still stands. This is a legacy of greatness, and again, they are the defending champions, and they treat all. Hey, let's throw it over to Marakin on stage.
You've had a great run this season 11. Marami kayong fans na nagmamahal sa inyo, nagsosuporta sa inyo. What is your last message to everybody? Kelra.
Salamat sa mga sumuporta sa amin kahit wala si Chaklo and ito Max. Salamat pa rin sa nagtiwala sa amin. Babawi kami next season and yan.
For the final time this season 11, everybody, one shot. Let's give them a big round of applause. Smart Omega has done well, but today, this is their final walk for the season. And we expect them to come back even stronger for season 12. And now, let's call the winner for the first day of the playoffs. Blacklist International. First, kausapin natin si Wise. Wise, my gosh! Sanay kami, mga ginagamit mo, Fredrin, Akay. Pero anong masasabi mo na na-debunk mo yung sinasabi nila na hindi ka marunong mag-assassin dahil phenomenal ang thanks a lot na ginawa mo for game number 1?
Chamba lang yun, malakas lang yung ka-team ko.
Very humble, si Wise. Ito naman si Owl. Owl, you've been so impressive. Pero today, natalo mo yung current holder sa MPL ng gold standard. Masasabi mo ba that you are now the gold standard? Natalo mo yung gold standard. Ikaw na ba ang bagong gold standard?
Hindi ko alam eh. Pero tinalo ko na siya nung una.
And Yue, you've been so impressive all season. Now, bukas, you're gonna be facing Bren sa ating game, sa ating series number 1. Gaano ka-tough do you think that will be, considering what happened dun sa regular season and the preparation na ginawa nyo the past 2 weeks? Anong masasabi mo para sa laban nyo bukas kontra sa Bren? How tough do you think that will be?
Paghahandaan namin para sa laban namin bukas, tsaka gagawin namin yung mga preparation na ginagawa namin lagi.
And we're looking forward to that. And this is the question of the day. Mom Shoe. May lumabas sa social media. May nagyabang. Ang sabi niya, kayo daw ang unang malalaglag. Kung hindi, kakain siya ng bubog. Anong masasabi mo ngayon na na-sweep mo ang inyong opponent after leaving that comment and he's not here today?
No comment. Kasi bukod compare sa ibang tao, takot ako sa karma.
There you have it. Once again, from Blacklist International, congratulations. You may now take your bow and take your walk of victory. Blacklist International takes the victory with a sweep. They move on tomorrow to face the top seed Bren Esports. At tungkol sa pagkain ng bubog, Mom Shoe, no comment. Dahil takot daw siya sa karma. So she's keeping it simple and letting the results speak for itself. So we're gonna break things down for you. We're gonna go back to our casters. Pasok.
Thanks, Mara. Now I'd like to say sorry to all the agents and to Billy. I tried to save you, man, but my powers couldn't take it. Blacklist was just too strong.
Hey, my prediction. I didn't expect to sweep. I'll say that.
Not like this.
Not like this. But again, I'm just gonna say, it's after seeing this series, now I'm kind of like, how is tomorrow gonna go against? Mara mentioned Bren, right?
Yeah,
Bren tomorrow.
It's
so
up to Bren.
wow.
Yeah. And Bren Esports have been keeping their fingers hot with victories outside of the MPL PH, so it's going to be a beauty of a match for sure.
Yep. So with that being said, let's go ahead and throw over to our analysts as they break down Game 3 and, of course, the whole series. Coach Bon and Midnight, it's up to you now. Talk to us.
It is Blacklist International winning the series against Smart Omega and a fantastic performance from the team as well. Again, di natin in-expect na magpapakita ng ganitong discipline ang Blacklist International from Wise's thanks a lot. And ngayon nakita na natin ng game number 3, dinismantle nila yung lason ng barangay. Again, welcome back dito sa Analyst Stand. Ako nga pala si Midnight, kasama ko rito si Coach Bonjan. Coach, ano masasabi mo dun sa game 3 na laban ng Blacklist at Omega?
Napakaraming tanong ang nasagot sa match na to. Unang-una, nag-a-assassin nga ba si Wise? Ang sagot, ayun na, sa first game. Pangalawang tanong, sino ang mas nananaig? Si Gold Standard or si Golden Boy All? At mas nanaig si Golden Boy All. At may pangatlo pang tanong na hindi nasasagot para sa akin.
Ano yun? Ano yun? Ano yung tanong na yun?
Kung ano ang lasa ng bubog.
Ay, hindi natin. Hindi natin malalaman, pero ang masasabi ko lang ay sana may flavor yung bubog. Pero going back dito sa ating game number 3, ang ganda actually no naging draft sequence for Blacklist International. And I would say, hindi ko lang kung mag-a-agree ka sa akin, pero I would say for me personally, medyo outdraft yung nangyari. Kasi parang di natin nakita, walang semblance of any response coming up from Omega. Ikaw ba, Coach, ano bang tingin mo dito sa draft ng Blacklist?
Ang nangyari, kasi dati nung nakakalaban namin ng execution din, naging Omega, pag nahihirapan sila sa isang hero, i-deny pick nila. Sila yung mag-este, sila yung magpopopol. This time, ginawa uli nila. Napahirapan sila ng paramis, dininay pick nila, si Miko ang nagparamis. Pero ang tanong, kaya niya bang gamitin ng maayos ang paramis?
Yeah, that's right. Kasi naalala ko parang ginawa nila yun sa inyo nung MEC din.
Tama.
Na biglang si Chakno nagpopopolon kupa na Rome. And ito yung parang ito yung naging response nila this time around. Na kinuha yung paramis nila Venus. Pero ang naging problema is hindi rin nila na-execute maayos. And medyo na-awkward na rin kasi yung approach dahil nga hawak nila Eve Paramis. Medyo mahina ka na ng early game. And then bigla mong sinuplayan ng Claude na goal lane. Nandun naman yung concept na meron pa ring late game timers na hinihintay ang Omega. But the problem is, paano ka tatawid ng early game? Yun yung nakita nating inherent problem dito sa side ng Smart Omega. And for the majority of this game, Blacklist International, sila talaga yung kumuha at humawak ng control. Kitang-kita naman sa kill score, 21-2. Yung kill score ng ating game, 21 kills going in favor of Blacklist International. And masasabi ko na actually ang daming damage dealer din sa side ng Blacklist. Pero may hinighlight si Coach Bonchan dito. Actually kanina kasi pinapoint out ko yung Brody. Maganda. Pero ang problem is walang dash. So ano nga ba yung ginawang solution dito ng Blacklist, Coach?
Tama yun. At first, sabi ni Midnight, pwedeng mag-Brody ang Blacklist. Pero nung nakita ko yung Ibteka, walang dash si Brody. Pero nung nag-pick ng Matilda ang Blacklist, ayun, may dash na si Brody.
Doon na nagbalik ang Matilda Airlines ni The Queen, Oh My Venus. And it felt like na-miss niya talaga tong hero na to. And nakita ko yung performance talaga kanina. Ang dami niyang sinalba. Yung save niya kanina kay Edward. Kasi si Edward, ang ganda rin ng play eh. Even though nakasagot yung Omega, kasi parang unexpected nila na masyadong lalalim si Edward. Nandun si Oh My Venus for the saves. And because of that, halos lahat ng team parts na nilaban ng Blacklist, nandoon yung Matilda. And makikita nyo, yung dynamic duo ni Oh My Venus at ni Yue, talagang present for the Ube strategy. 90% kill participation on both the Matilda and the Valentina. Samantalang sa side naman ng Smart Omega, dahil nga yung ideology ng team fight nila, it revolves around the Cloud. Of course, 100% yung kill participation ni Kelra, pero hindi natin nakita yung threat nga nung Paramis tsaka ni Terizla. As you were mentioning earlier na parang hindi nga nila nagamit ng husto yung Paramis kasi parang hindi ganun ka-refined yung play style for Smart Omega. And of course, the MVP is none other than the reigning queen of MPL, Oh My Venus on the Matilda, 1018 KDA. And gusto ko rito yung coach yung naging itemization niya talaga kasi alam niya ang kalaban niya early game, Paramis at Eve. First item, Radiant Armor.
Hindi lang yun. Idagdag mo pa si Baksha. Lahat yun, mga continuous magical damage. Napakasulit ng Radiant Armor para sa tatlong hero na yun.
Ang ganda ng build-up niya no? Meron siyang Oracle din, additional sustain, tapos Enchanted Talisman. Kumbaga nandun yung sustain, nandun yung poke, nandun din yung constant presence ng saves with the Guiding Wind. And dito natin makikita yun sa ating MVP highlights. Again, the story of the game was just Blacklist International controlling the team fights against Smart Omega. Parang hindi natin nakita na may bakbakan talagang magaganap dito kasi parang hindi rin kaya sumabay ng hindi kaya sumabay ng Smart Omega dahil nga siguro dahil hawak nila yung Claude. Pero ano ba bang mga naging problems dito sa side ng Smart Omega?
Nabawasan ang aggressiveness nila unang-una dahil sa pag-deny pick ng Faramis. Unlike nung mga nauna nilang game like nung Choosy Miko, napakaganda ng early nila. But this time, naging silang passive. Ang naging nilang initiator, si Baksha na wala ding nagpa-follow up, naiiwan siya sa harap.
Yeah, parang ang nangyayari, Baksha versus the world.
Yes.
Tapos parang pag nag-drawing ka ng chart, yung team fight ng Omega, medyo manipis yung linya. Tapos yung farming nandun sa pinakasagad na dulo. And yun nga yung nagpahirap sa buhay ng Smart Omega kasi parang naghihintay sila ng timing na pwede silang lumaban sa Blacklist. Pero the sadder part is, even though kahit sabihin natin makakuha ng farm si Kelra, parang umabot tayo sa point na, actually pinoint out mo ito kanina, nalulusaw siya doon sa Valentina, ang sakit na rin nung damage ni Yue.
Hindi na talaga kinaya. Dumating sa point na isang buga lang ni Valentina, talagang half na agad yung bawas para kay Claude. So kahit na mag-online siya, napakasakit na ng damage ni Valentina na hindi niya na din matatagalan once na hinarapan niya ng Blazing Duet.
Yeah, very intense and amazing series overall for Blacklist International. Nakita natin yung kanilang dynamics and yung flexibility kasi nung Game 1, Game 2 parang sila yung Omega playstyle. And ngayon nakita natin yung peak Blacklist performance, I would say na talagang kumokontrol dito ng objectives and of course yung momentum na nagtatranslate towards their victories. Any final thoughts dito sa ating series, Coach Bonchan, especially with Blacklist sweeping the barangay Smart Omega?
Yun lang, talagang sabi ko nga kanina, nasagot karamihan ng tanong pero may isang tanong na yung nasasagot. Anong flavor?
Anong flavor nung bubog, no? And sana may tubig.
Dapat lang.
Sana may tubig, di ba?
Hindi masakit sa muna.
Anyway, that is it for the first series. Hindi pa naman tayo tapos. Dahil may ikalawa pa tayong serye na matutunghayan mamaya. Again, it is an elimination match between RSG Slate Philippines and Onyx PH. Kaya guys, wag kayo alis dahil magbabalik ang MPL Philippines Season 11.
The 11th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors: Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL Philippines Season 11. Our official sponsor, Infinix. Infinix Note, ultra-fast gameplay. Our partners in esports, Maya, it's everything, and a bank. And Secret Lab, the official gaming chair of MPL Philippines. If you missed the matches and want to quickly recap what happened, visit our official website for post-match reports at ph-mpl.com/news. Don't forget to catch all of our official league content on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. To ensure the quality and fairness of our games, MPL Philippines is also monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusement Board.
Did you know that you can switch networks but still keep your number? Now you can go with the Philippines' fastest and best mobile network. All it takes are 3 easy steps. First, secure your unique subscriber code from your current provider. Visit our website or any smart store near you. Lastly, activate your smart MNP SIM and you're ready to go. Unleash the power of the Philippines' best mobile network. Switch to the power of smart.
May kiklaim lang po akong remittance para kay Joko Martin.
OTP?
Eh, wala eh.
Eh, paano ko mabe-verify na ikaw si Joko Martin?
Ah, eto. Grad photo. Ako yan.
Di pwede yan. To government ID.
Oh, driver's license. SSS.
Walang pirma eh. May birth certificate ka.
Meron.
Sige, pa-xerox mo muna. 2 copies.
Yun. Bravo ah. Isa pa, bigyan mo akong 2 copies ha.
When you're in moments that matter most,
At last, we time. Live them fully with Smart Power All 99.
for 99 pesos, get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To play,
To laugh,
to love,
plus unleash TikTok.
and only text. Live in the moments that matter most.
Today, with Smart Power All 99.
Call me up.
Let's go!
Describe ko sa Escalera in one word kung sasabihin ko ay
Nasabitan doon si Yesu at ang biyahe nag-iba yung direksyon nila!
Biyaheng tagumpay!
Nagkaroon agad ako ng vibes na talagang pangarap niya to.
Nagsimula ako paglaro ng Mobile Legends yung nagtatrabaho na ako. Tinry ko lang yung Mobile Legends kasi pag uwi ng bahay, di na ako pupunta ng computer shop para maglaro ng gusto ko. Na-feel ko na na halos pares lang na nararamdaman ko habang naglalaro ako ng computer games tsaka sa ML. Tuloy-tuloy lang yung paglalaro ko kasi nag-i-enjoy ako, parang nawawala yung pagod ko. Naging interesado ako sumali sa MPL kasi nag-champion kami sa mga mini tournament sa mga barangay-barangay. Sabay may kumuha sa aming organization. Sabay pagkakuha sa amin ng organization, binigyan kami ng chance para mas lumakas pa. Hanggang sa makapunta kami sa MPL. Pero 3 beses ako nabigo bago ako makapasok ng MPL.
Yung unang nakilala ko si Escalera, which is Season 9 MPL, sobrang goods nung naging performance niya. Talagang usually kasi kapag support yung role mo sa ML, puro assist, ganyan. Pero si Escalera kasi yung playstyle niya, mataas yung killer instincts niya. Kaya talagang ang ganda ng naging performance niya. Tapos nahirang din siya as Rookie of the Season ng Season 9.
Nung unang nakilala ko siya, pagkapunta niya ng bootcamp, kalbo, maitim. Uy, mandaldal, sabi ko. Parang di ko ito makakasando Kasi online tryout lang siya Tapos pagdating niya doon, mandaldal medyo ako as a captain, akin yung shot call, parang conflict Pero nung nagsama naman kami sa laro, umokay naman po.
Nung season 10, nalaglag sila ng top 8. But sa mga nakita ko doon, isa si Escalera sa mga naging consistent na players talaga for the side of TNC Pro Team nung mga panahon na nagkakaroon sila ng hirap.
Kita natin yung last season na lumalaban pa rin sila kahit na lagi sila natatalo. Dama ko kay Escalera na he really studies yung mga meta at maging yung mga heroes. Kasi ang tagal niya na naglalaro. Nakas ko pa siya nung amateur days niya.
He's kind of low-key that he doesn't take the spotlight. If you'll notice, sa tagal na ni Escalera na nasa liga, a lot of the highlights when TNC does well comes from his other teammates. And I think sobrang yung pagiging low-key niya, he really brings out the best in his teammates.
Siguro ang meron si Escalera na wala sa iba, sobrang sobrang coachable na player. Kasi kapag meron kang tinuturo, ganyan, talagang makikita mo sa kanya na nakikinig siya, tapos itatry niya muna yung sinasabi mo, tapos sasabihin din niya yung parang feedback niya dun sa mga pinapagawa mo sa kanya.
Ang lagi yung ma-expect kay Escalera pag mga crucial game na, yung shot call niya hindi siya nawawala sa focus kahit sobrang hirap na nung laro.
Main weakness? Siguro yung pagiging aggressive sa game. Kasi maganda talaga yung pagiging aggressive sa game, pero kapag nasobrahan kasi. Yung one thing na sigurong nag-hold back kay Escalera, siguro yung may times na nagta-tunnel vision siya. Pinakakailangan niyang improve ngayon yung pagiging team captain kasi ginawa namin siyang team captain this season.
Nung una, yung sa dati ko rin team, parang tinitignan nila ako na as a captain material talaga, pero hindi ko tinitake yun kasi medyo immature pa ako nun. Tinanggap ko naman yung pagiging captain kasi alam ko na sa tingin ko sa sarili ko na kaya ko na. Parang pag nagkakaproblema yung team, pag nag-i-struggle yung isa kong kakampi, parang kailangan ko siya kausapin, kailangan ko malaman kung ano yung pinangugutan niya kung ba siya nagkakagano. Marami na ako natutunan dun sa dati kong trabaho na kahit na mahirap, kailangan mong tumuli sa buhay. Tsaka kailangan mo rin dagdagan ng sipag kasi kung hindi ka magsisipag, walang mangyayari sa inyo.
I expect more of him. I guess habang tumatagal yung liga, I expect more from this guy in terms of taking the spotlight. Kasi you've been sharing the spotlight for too long with your team. I think it's time for you to really shine in the mid lane.
Hindi may iwasan na pag nagkamali, may magja-judge. Tanggapin niya lang yon. Baga, pag may nabasa siyang maganda na makakatulong sa kanya, tanggapin niya. Pag may nabasa siyang hindi makakatulong sa kanya, tapon niya lang. Magagamit niya yung mga feedback ng tao, tapos gamitin niya yun para mas tumatag siya na alam ko kayang-kaya niya yun. Sobrang laki ng improvement niya sa pagtatank na alam ko na maganda ipapakita niya sa MPL.
Hi, ako nga pala si Sanford Binuya na mas kilala sa pangalang Sanford. Ako nga pala ang ex-planer ng Echo. Nakapasok ako sa MPL noong Season 8 sa team na Next Play Boss bilang 6-man Next Play. Di naging maganda yung run ko sa org na to at nawala ako sa pro scene noong Season 9. Hanggang sa nabalitaan ko kay Yahweh na aking former teammate na nasa Echo na ngayon na may open tryout sa team nila. At sa kabutihang palad, natanggap ako sa team na Echo. Dumaan yung Season 10 pero hindi namin ako yung kampyonato. Pero isa kami sa naging representative sa M4 World Championship. Hindi namin nasaan na sobrang dominating namin sa M4 hanggang sa upper bracket. Pero talo kami sa upper bracket finals at nakalaban namin sa ibaba yung RQ at nanalo. Nakapasok kami ng grand finals at nakalaban namin yung Blacklist International na defending champion. At ngayon kami na yung world champion. Siguro yung favorite pro player ko is si Carl Tizzy. Kasi isa siya sa mga greatest player of all time. Ang favorite food ko is spaghetti kasi lagi ako present sa mga birthday. Kapag wala akong ginagawa or pag nasa bahay ako, ginagawa ko is maglalaro ng billiards or manood ng anime. Una ko nakita yung Mobile Legends sa social media at tinry ko itong larong to kasi mahilig ako sa online games. Hanggang sa nagustuhan ko tong larong to at naipaglaro ko sa mga kaibigan ko at sa mga pinsan ko. Hanggang sa sumali kami sa isang tour na sa barangay namin. Nanalo kami pero second place lang yung naabot namin. Pero nagpatuloy pa rin ako sa pag-grind hanggang sa marami akong if interesado ako sa Team 9 XP 2.0. Tinanggap ko yung offer ni Howie dahil gusto ko rin makapasok sa team na to at maging pro player. Bago ako naging pro player, isa sa mga naging struggles ko is internet. Dahil naka-data lang ako sa panahon na yun. At yung cellphone na ginagamit ko is low FPS at hindi pa sa akin. Kaya wala rin akong oras na makapaglaro masyado nun. At the same time, nag-aaral ako nun. Ngayong pro player na ako, pinakamahirap na nangyari sa career ko. Habang naipag-compete ako, pumanaw yung tito at lolo ko habang naipaglaban. Bago kami pumunta sa Indonesia para may pag-compete sa M4, stop yung papa ko. At ginusto ko mang hindi pumunta, pero sinabi sa akin ng magulang ko na pumunta ako para sa pangarap ko. Masakit nun para sa akin, ginawa ko na lang siya motivation. At doon nakuha namin yung M4. Salamat sa pamilya ko na sinuportahan ako sa career na pinili ko. And sa mga fans ko na sumuporta sa akin mula umpisa hanggang ngayon. And gusto ko din magpasalamat sa teammates ko, sa coaches, and sa management sa pagtitiwala sa akin na wala sa edad ang paglalaro ng Mobile Legends.
Ako nga pala si Renny J. Ang role ko dito is fighter from Blacklist International. Nag-start ako mag-Mobile Legends nung nakita ko sa pinsan ko nilalaro niya. Tapos, yun, tinry ko siya muna nung una, pero parang hindi ko siya trip nung una kasi, pero galing kasi ako sa larong dating Dota. Nadadala ko siya sa ML. Hanggang sa naging isang araw, pagising ko parang competitive na ako. Kasabayan ko pa sila Edward nun eh. Pero ako yung top 1, tapos sila Edward yung kasunod ko. Kasi kami magkakagrind nun. Hanggang sa ngayon, dito na ako sa Blacklist. Talaga, nag-start pa lang ako, si Haji talaga. Talagang wala pa ako sa pro. Tsaka kasi si Haji, nakakalaro ko siya dati sa rank games. Isa din siya sa kasama ko sa pagpapataas ko ng stars kasi si Haji yung yung parang pinakabatak dati na pro player eh. Kaya sabi ko, idol ko to kasi lahat ng role kaya niya. Yung iba ko pang games na nilalaro is volleyball kasi nung dati wala pa namang mga ganyan ML eh. Tapos Dota pa lang dati, mahal kasi sa computer shop dati. Parang wala pa akong pambayan. Ano bang ginagawa ko ngayon pag di ako ML player? Siguro nag-school. Dati ang gusto kong course is gusto ko seaman eh. Kasi bala ko mag-aral sa MAAP. Kasi wala pa naman kasing ML nun eh. So syempre, nung dumating yung ML, nagbago-bago na rin decision kasi yun, nabago din yung buhay ko ng Mobile Legends eh. Talagang ginagawa ko din lahat to para sa family ko. Kasi sa ML scene naman, hindi ko pa alam hanggang kailan ako eh. So, yun, okay lang sa akin kung wala ako, hindi at least, di ba? May napatunayan tsaka meron na mga napunta. Siguro nabuo yung Bataan Boys connection na yun nung yun nga, kasi sabay kami ni Edward talaga dati nag-grind. Si Edward wala pa rin siyang team. So yun, kinuha siya ng Blacklist nun. Sila pa nila Boss Lex, magkampi na sila Coach Bon eh. So natuloy yung Bataan Boys na yun. Siguro sa MPL na eh, kasi parang binansagan na kami ni Edward na mga taga Bataan, ganyan. Tapos hanggang sa magka-team kami, lalo na nilang parang na Bataan Boys talaga yung connection daw. Bakit Blacklist? Siguro dahil paano ba? Parang ito yung tinitingala ko din talaga na na team. Tsaka yun dahil feeling sa yun sa management, yun talaga yung tinitingala ko. Kasi sabi ko noon kung daw makuha ng blacklist, baka talaga magpahinga muna ako. Kasi sabi ko gusto ko talaga sa blacklist daw. Kasi syempre si Edward, sila Coach Bon, nakakwentuhan ko rin yan para magkakasama na daw kami. Paano ako gusto mag-grow sa blacklist? Siguro yun nga, kung paano yung routine nila na practice, yan kung paano yung mindset nila sa game, kung paano yung disiplina nila sa paglalaro. Yun yung pinaka gusto kong matutunan. Sobrang goods kasi sobrang saya ko talaga kasi dito ako napunta sa team natin. Siguro si Black Rainy Jr. Mas focus and mas confident at yun, mas masaya. Yun, shoutout nga pala sa mga agents natin dyan. Iniimbitahan ko nga po pala kayo na suportahan kami sa season 11 na to. Yung bibigay po namin lahat ng best namin. Thank you sa supportan niyo.
Hi guys! Ako nga pala si Bending, ang tank captain ng TNC Pro Team. Nagsimula talaga yung hilig sa esports, Dota pa lang. Sa Dota, gusto ko talagang maging pro, Dota 1 and Dota 2. Sumasali ako talaga ng mga tournament. Sa Cavite ako nakatira, dumadayo pa ako ng Manila para lang magkaroon ng experience, para makilala. Yun talaga yung unang finish ko para maging pro. Kaya lang, malas guys, hindi pinalad. Sobrang hirap. Kailangan mo ng sariling PC para mas makapag-grind ka. Kasi medyo mahal yung bayad sa computer nun eh. Talagang pag wala kayong bootcamp or pag wala ka sariling PC, suntok sa bato talaga para makapasok ka sa pro. Nung nagkasakit at pumanaw yung mama ko, parang yun na yung nagbigay sa akin ng sign para mag-stop muna sa paglalaro, sa pagdodota. Then, naapektuhan na rin yung pag-aaral ko kasi nahirapan kami sa financial. Kailangan tumulong sa pamilya. Nag-start ako magtrabaho. Naging trabaho ko na property consultant sa DMCI Homes. Nagbebenta kami ng mga condo. Ganun. Then, one time, birthday ko, dinownloadan ng kaibigan ko ng ML yung phone ko. Then, nilaro ko siya. Na-board ako nun. So, ayun, hanggang sa napapasarap na ako. Trinay ko siya. Parang doon na bumalik yung pagkahilig ko sa paglalaro. Una, sumali kami sa mga smart play, sa mga covered court pa yon. Sumasali kami sa mga ganun. Tapos may team na kumuha sa akin nun, 2 doors na naging All-Star Force. 5K pa lang yung unang sahod namin nun, kaya nangyayari. Kasi sobrang sugal talaga ng pag-ML eh. Hindi mo alam kung magsasucess ka or kung magiging pro player ka kahit anong course mo. Dumating sa time na yung girlfriend ko gusto nakapagtrabahoin sa ibang bansa, yung pamilya ko. Kasi hindi natin sila masisi, concerned lang sila. Kasi yung dati traditional talaga na magtapos sa pag-aaral, tapos magtrabaho sa ibang bansa, magtayo ng business. Dumating na sa point na halos wala sumusuporta sa akin, pero finish ko pa rin siya. Sabi ko, papatunayan ko sa inyo na magiging pro player ako. Babawi ako sa inyo. Thank God dahil nakapasa ako nung season 8 sa TNC. Kahit 6 man lang ako nun. Going to season 9, nagulat ako. Ako pala yung magiging captain. Tapos isa na ako sa main 5. Parang sobrang thankful ako sa management na sa tiwala na binigay nila sa akin. Kahit marami mas malakas sa akin. Tapos hindi ako masyado nakapaglaro nung season 8. Sa akin parang nila pinagkatiwala yung mabigat na obligasyon ng pagiging captain. Ayun, masaya lang kasi top 3 agad kami. Unang magkakasama pa lang namin. Kaya lang malungkot kasi isa na lang MSC na. Pero natanggap na rin naman namin yun. Yung isang pinaka trophy ko doon na natanggap yung nung fiancé ko ngayon na si Dayan. Parang syempre, ang daming tao nag-propose ako sa stage. Pag humindi yun, ang daming pahiya ako nun. Pero yun na yung pinakamasayang nangyari sa akin, isa sa pinakamasayang nangyari sa akin season 9. Nung napawa ko yung girlfriend ko. Tapos ito na guys, Season 10, Season 11, back-to-back top 8. Awit guys, mahirap siya tanggapin pero kailangan. Sabi ko nga kay Miss Mara guys, hanggat may MPL, hanggat pinagkakatiwalaan ng TNC, pipilitin ko mapa-champion ng TNC. Kasi sila yung nagtiwala sa akin simulat sa pool pa lang. Gusto ko magpasalamat unang-una kay God, sa family ko, at sa TNC na patuloy na nagtitiwala sa akin kahit ang hirap-hirap na. Maraming salamat din sa Phoenix Army na lagi nasa likod namin kahit anumang mangyari. Babangon tayo!
Did you know that you can switch networks but still keep your number? Now you can go with the Philippines' fastest and best mobile network. All it takes are 3 easy steps. First, secure your unique subscriber code from your current provider. Visit our website or any smart store near you. Lastly, activate your smart MNP SIM and you're ready to go. Unleash the power of the Philippines' best mobile network. Switch to the power of smart.
May kiklaim lang po akong remittance para kay Joko Martin.
OTP?
Eh, wala eh.
Eh, paano kung mabe-verify na ikaw si Joko Martin?
Ito. Grad photo. Ako yan.
Di pwede yan. To government ID.
Oh, driver's license. SSS.
Walang pirma eh. May birth certificate ka.
Meron.
Sige, pa-xerox mo muna. 2 copies.
Yun. Bravo ah. Isa pa, bigyan mo akong 2 copies ha.
When you're in moments that matter most.
At last, we time. Live them fully with Smart Power All 99.
For 99 pesos, get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To play.
To laugh.
To love.
Plus, unleash TikTok.
And only text. Live in the moments that matter most.
Today, with Smart Power All 99.
Let's go.
Nasabitan doon si Jesus at ang biyahe ng
biyaheng tagumpay!
Nagkaroon agad ako ng vibes na talagang pangarap niya to.
Nagsimula ako paglaro ng Mobile Legends yung ano eh, yung nagtatrabaho na ako. Tinry ko lang yung Mobile Legends kasi pag uwi ng bahay, di na ako pupunta ng computer shop para maglaro ng gusto ko. Na-feel ko na ano, na halos pares lang na nararamdaman ko habang naglalaro ako ng computer games tsaka sa ML. Tuloy-tuloy lang yung paglalaro ko kasi nag-i-enjoy ako, parang nawawala yung pagod ko. Naging interesado ako sumali sa MPL kasi ano pa eh, nag-champion kami sa mga mini tournament sa ano, sa mga barangay-barangay. Sabay may kumuha sa aming ano, organization. Sabay pagkakuha sa amin ng organization, binigyan kami ng chance para ano, para mas lumakas pa. Hanggang sa makapunta kami sa ano, MPL. Pero 3 beses ako nabigo bago ako makapasok ng MPL.
Yung unang nakilala ko si Escalera, which is Season 9 MPL, sobrang goods nung naging performance niya. Talagang ano, usually kasi kapag support yung role mo sa ML, ano lang, puro assist, ganyan. Pero si Escalera kasi yung playstyle niya, mataas yung killer instincts niya. Kaya talagang ano, ang ganda ng naging performance niya. Tapos nahirang din siya ano, as Rookie of the Season ng Season 9.
Nung unang nakilala ko siya, pagkapunta niya ng bootcamp, kalbo, maitim. Uy, mandaldal, sabi ko. Parang di ko ito makakasando ah. Kasi online tryout lang siya eh. Tapos pagdating niya doon, mandaldal eh, medyo ako as a captain, akin yung shot call, parang ano ah, ko conflict ah. Pero nung nagsama naman kami sa laro, yun, umaki naman po.
Nung season 10, nalaglag sila ng top 8. But sa mga nakita ko doon, isa si Escalera sa mga naging consistent na players talaga for the side of TNC Pro Team nung mga panahon na nagkakaroon sila ng hirap.
Kita natin yung last season na lumalaban pa rin sila kahit na lagi sila natatalo. Dama ko kay Escalera na he really studies yung mga meta at maging yung mga heroes. Kasi ang tagal niya na naglalaro. Nakas ko pa siya nung amateur days niya.
He's kind of low-key that he doesn't take the spotlight. If you'll notice, sa tagal na ni Escalera na nasa liga, a lot of the highlights, when TNC does well, comes from his other teammates. And I think sobrang, yung pagiging low-key niya, he really brings out the best in his teammates.
Siguro ang meron si Escalera na wala sa iba, sobrang ano siya, sobrang coachable na player. Kasi kapag meron kang tinuturo, ganyan, talagang makikita mo sa kanya na nakikinig siya, tapos itatry niya muna yung sinasabi mo, tapos sasabihin din niya yung ano, parang feedback niya dun sa mga pinapagawa mo sa kanya.
Ang lagi yung ma-expect kay Escalera pag mga crucial game na, yung shot call niya hindi siya nawawala sa focus kahit sobrang hirap na nung laro.
Main weakness? Siguro ano, yung pagiging aggressive sa game. Kasi maganda yon. Maganda talaga yung pagiging aggressive sa game, pero kapag nasobrahan kasi. Yung one thing na sigurong nag-hold back kay Escalera, siguro yung may times na ano, nagta-tunnel vision siya. Pinakakailangan niyang improve ngayon yung pagiging team captain kasi ginawa namin siyang team captain this season.
Nung una, yung sa dati ko rin team, parang tinitignan nila ako na as a captain material talaga, pero hindi ko tinitake yun kasi medyo immature pa ako nun. Tinanggap ko naman yung pagiging captain kasi alam ko na sa tingin ko sa sarili ko na kaya ko na. Parang pag nagkakaproblema yung team kasi kung hindi ka magsisipag, walang mangyayari sa inyo.
I expect more of him. I guess habang tumatagal yung liga, I expect more from this guy in terms of taking the spotlight kasi you've been sharing the spotlight for too long with your team. I think it's time for you to really shine in the mid lane.
Hindi may iwasan na pag nagkamali, may magja-judge. Tanggapin niya lang yon. Baga, pag may nabasa siyang maganda na makakatulong sa kanya, tanggapin niya. Pag may nabasa siyang hindi makakatulong sa kanya, tapon niya lang. Magagamit niya yung mga feedback ng tao, tapos gamitin niya yun para mas tumatag siya na alam ko kaya-kaya niya yun. Sobrang laki ng improvement niya sa pagtatank na alam ko na maganda ipapakita niya sa MPL.
Hi, ako nga pala si Sanford Binuya na mas kilala sa pangalang Sanford. Ako nga pala ang ex-player ng Echo. Nakapasok ako sa MPL noong Season 8 sa team na Next Play Boss bilang 6-man na ex-player. Hindi naging maganda yung run ko sa org na to at nawala ako sa pro scene noong Season 9. Hanggang sa nabalitaan ko kay Yawi na aking former teammate na nasa Echo na ngayon na may open tryout sa team nila. At sa kabutihang palad, natanggap ako sa team na Echo. Dumaan yung Season 10, pero hindi namin ako yung kampyonato. Pero isa kami sa naging representative sa M4 World Championship. Hindi namin nasaan na sobrang dominating namin sa M4 hanggang sa upper bracket. Pero talo kami sa upper bracket final. At nakalaban namin sa ibaba yung RQ at nanalo. Nakapasok kami ng Grand Finals at nakalaban namin yung Blacklist International na defending champion. At ngayon kami na yung World Champion. Siguro yung favorite pro player ko is si Cartini. Kasi isa siya sa mga greatest player of all time. Ang favorite food ko is spaghetti kasi lagi ako present sa mga birthday. Kapag wala akong ginagawa or pag nasa bahay ako, ginagawa ko is maglalaro ng billiards or manood ng anime. Una ko nakita yung Mobile Legends sa social media at tinry ko itong larong to kasi mahilig ako sa online games. Hanggang sa nagustuhan ko tong larong to at naipaglaro ko sa mga kaibigan ko at sa mga pinsan ko. Hanggang sa sumali kami sa isang tour na sa barangay namin. Nanalo kami pero second place lang yung naabot namin. Pero nagpatuloy pa rin ako sa pag-grind hanggang sa marami akong top PH na heroes tulad ng Alice at mga iba pang fighters. Hanggang sa nakakalaro ko lagi si Yawi at tinanong ako if interesado ako sa Team 9 XP 2.0. Tinanggap ko yung offer ni Yawi dahil gusto ko rin makapasok sa team na to at maging pro player. Bago ako naging pro player, isa sa mga naging struggles ko is internet dahil naka-data lang ako sa panahon na yun. At yung cellphone na ginagamit ko is low FPS at hindi pa sa akin. Kaya wala rin akong oras na makapaglaro masyado nun. At the same time, nag-aaral ako nun. Ngayong pro player na ako, pinakamahirap na nangyari sa career ko. Habang naipag-compete ako, pumanaw yung tito at lolo ko habang naipaglaban. Bago kami pumunta sa Indonesia para may pag-compete sa M4, stop yung papa ko at ginusto ko mang hindi pumunta pero sinabi sa akin ng magulang ko na pumunta ako para sa pangarap ko. Masaya nun para sa akin, ginawa ko na lang siya motivation at doon nakuha namin yung M4. Salamat sa pamilya ko na sinuportahan ako sa career na pinili ko and sa mga fans ko na sumuporta sa akin mula umpisa hanggang ngayon. And gusto ko din magpasalamat sa teammates ko, sa coaches, and sa management sa pagtitiwala sa akin na wala sa edad ang paglalaro ng Mobile Legends.
Ako nga pala si Renny J. Ang role ko dito is fighter from Blacklist International. Nag-start ako mag-Mobile Legends nung nakita ko sa pinsan ko niya, laro niya. Tapos, yun, tinry ko siya muna nung una, pero parang hindi ko siya trip nung una pero galing kasi ako sa larong dating Dota. Nadadala ko siya sa ML. Hanggang sa naging isang araw, pagising ko parang competitive na ako. Kasabayan ko pa sila Edward nun Pero ako yung top 1, tapos sila Edward yung kasunod ko. Kasi kami magkakagrind nun. Hanggang sa ngayon, dito na ako sa Blacklist. Talaga, nag-start pa lang ako, si Haji talaga. Talagang wala pa ako sa pro. Tsaka kasi si Haji, nakakalaro ko siya dati sa rank games. Isa din siya sa kasama ko sa pagpapataas ko ng stars kasi si Haji yung yung parang pinakabatak dati na pro player Kaya sabi ko, idol ko to kasi lahat ng role kaya niya. Yung iba ko pang games na nilalaro is volleyball kasi nung dati wala pa namang mga ganun ML Tapos Dota pa lang dati. Mahal kasi sa computer shop dati. Parang wala pa akong pambayan. Ano bang ginagawa ko ngayon pag di ako ML player? Siguro nag-school. Dati ang gusto kong course is gusto ko seaman Kasi bala ko